Happy Friday. Look who's making a return. It is Mama Jacque for part 2. And do you know the reason why, everybody? It's because, like Michelle said, we never really got a chance to get into how do you thrive? How do you survive or thrive? Which one do you do? People sometimes don't like the word survive. In fact, the Working Women's Show pulled the name survival out because they now think it's more about thriving. So we're going to thrive. We're going to talk about surviving and thriving. And again, thank you to the wonderful Michelle Harmon for making this for us. Mom and Mon Senior Moments. And today, again, surviving or thriving. We're going to talk about that. We've got news you can use. We're going to do a rundown of the Olympics. And we'll talk about when your spouse or your dear loved one gets sick, has some type of debilitating disease, has a life-altering disease. What happens when you suddenly become the caretaker you weren't ready for? And I'm saying sometimes men and women have to do that at a very young age.
Oh, yes.
And they're still working full-time jobs. All those things that you have to take on, we want to discuss today. And then we'll talk about when you unfortunately lose your spouse, how do you move on beyond that? She's done it, folks, for almost 29 years, which... Again, you're an incredible role model. I think you're just absolutely amazing. So we're going to do all of that in the next hour. Good morning to all of you. Let me see. Ashlyn, good morning. So Ashlyn is our moderator today. Good morning, Ashlyn Cross. She is at home moderating for us. Kelsey was there yesterday. So when you see their names, know that they are dropping in links for you. Kathleen, good morning. Kathy Holden Reed. Mom and Monica, love it. Good morning, everyone, Julie says. Rose, Miss Jacque, wish I looked that good in the AM, she says to you. Mary Mayer, good morning to you. As you see, it's 7:02 in the morning, and we've been talking about oppressive heat. Crazy. And then something that she wasn't ready for last night, a deluge of rain when I went to put the dogs out to go to the bathroom. How many of you had rain as well that you were not expecting?
Yeah.
We talked about the rain in yesterday morning's commute, went away, but we talked about the possibility in the afternoon and evening of maybe some storms coming in, and sure enough, it hit us. Do we have hot weather? Do we have storms coming over the weekend and into next week? Well, let's find out. It's time for What the Weather.
Alrighty, welcome back into this new more weather forecast video. This one has been looking significant for a couple of days. So
good morning to you.
Good morning, Monica.
Finally.
Nice to be here.
And it's nice to have him here. There he is, Mr. Sunshine himself. It's our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. It's great to see you. So Beckett and I were talking, and I said, Beckett, if we had a picture to tell the story of heading into the weekend and next week, you said it would be sunshine, which we like sunshine.
Yes.
I just don't think a lot of people like how hot it's been. I mean, those heat indexes have been crazy, Beckett.
Yes, absolutely. We've been getting this heat index up to 110. It has been very hot, and I think we're going to like this break from it.
So is the break coming because of the rain that we saw, or where's that cooler, sudden having the model change into cooler temperatures? Where's that coming from?
Yeah, so we've been under this heat dome, and that's why actually we've been having these storms, because we're kind of on the edge of this heat dome across the central United States, and what we call northwest flow is happening, where we get that northwest jet stream coming down, carrying these areas of storms, and that's why we've been having these storms. But we're finally going to get a break from those storms and that oppressive heat. Those excessive heat warnings, heat advisories have been allowed to expire across the area. And today, we're finally, again, going to get a break from that heat with a high of around 86 degrees, mostly sunny skies tomorrow, Saturday, and then into Sunday, we're going to have highs in the low 90s, 91 on Saturday, 93 on Sunday, all sunny. So still a little hot, but a lot less hot than what we've been dealing with. Monday and Tuesday, though, we do warm back up. Monday, 95 degrees, 97 degrees. So heat index, again, going back up as we go into Monday and Tuesday, but then we'll cool back down as we go later in the week, and some rain chances as we go towards late next week. But again, we're getting a break in that heat and in the rain.
Yeah, I mean, upper 80s is going to feel like incredible compared to what we've had. So where are we on the scale of normal for this time of year? Are we pretty spot on?
Yeah, so normal for this time of the year would likely be in the mid 90s. So 86 is definitely below average for this time of the year, but these last couple of days we have been above average.
Well, there we go. So, we get both back and forth, which is just
Yeah.
that's the flow of life. Do you have any big plans for the weekend?
No, we don't. We're going to be heading back to St. Louis on Sunday, though, and then joining with the regular setup on Monday.
So, yeah. So where are you right now?
In Chautauqua, Illinois, near Grafton.
Oh, okay. You know where that is? Yep. So he was doing some flooding reporting. So if you're all new to the show, this is our aspiring meteorologist. He's been on with us since January, and I know you absolutely adore him. You've never met Beckett in person, have you?
I don't.
You've never met my mom in person, have you, Beckett?
No.
No, I didn't think so. In fact, I think Beckett's only met me in person once.
Yeah.
We got to get you back on set.
Yes, we do.
We would like that. So when do you start school?
August 20th, I think.
So are you excited about going to school? Because this is a big transition for him.
Yes. Yeah.
You want to tell everybody where you're going?
DeSmet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Right. So he goes from being the top dog to suddenly, a freshman.
Yeah.
So what are you most excited about for the start of school?
I'm probably just making new friends and meeting new people.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited. Did you do your back to school shopping already?
Not yet, no.
So it's tax-free weekend in Missouri.
Yes, I did see that. So
well, do some shopping with mom and dad, and they're going to get a little break.
Yeah.
Well, Beckett, thank you again. Great to see you again, and looking forward to seeing you on Monday.
Sounds good. Great to see you as well.
All right, everybody. Aspiring meteorologist Beckett Moore. He's just incredible, and we are blessed to have him. Excited to follow along with where he will go with his career. And we'll be able to say, remember when he was on our show and we gave him this break. We absolutely adore him. So everybody, thank you so much for tuning in this morning. We're going to get into a little news you can use, and we've got a follow-up. I'm always very big in making sure that we don't put something out there and you don't get a follow-up story. So I don't know, Mom, if you remember this. Let me bring this down so it's not in your face. My mom's so tiny. Here, can you hold this for me for a second? No, it'll then go in my face.
No, I meant further over.
There was no, see, it's in my face. Oh. So there was a park in St. Charles County, Brummelsdick Park, I think, something on those lines. I always say it wrong. Anyway, they had blue-green algae outbreak in St. Charles County. And unfortunately, that is not the only park that is dealing with that. And so there was a lady that said that she saw some blue-green algae in Fort Zumwalt Park, as you're seeing there on the screen. And she wanted to bring it to the attention of authorities because she didn't want to see people, or normally what's been happening is dogs that go over, they try to jump into the water, or they're drinking the water.
They'll try to drink it, yes.
Yeah, so there's this woman and her Australian Shepherd that are regulars at this particular park in O'Fallon, Missouri. She said, we love it, that we run laps, run off the energy, but then the dog wants to get into the water. And she noticed something unusual on a visit to the park last week. The three of them, she, her daughter, and the dog, they noticed what looked like green spray paint sprayed on top of the water, just floating on the back part of the two little coves. And she thought, well, that's weird. She was worried about the substance being blue-green algae, reported the sighting to O'Fallon's Parks and Recreation Department. And the environmental manager at the DNR said recent weather conditions are the type of environment that blue-green algae thrives on. So the city of O'Fallon said that park staff noticed the substance in the lake last week, immediately began treating the lake. Following rain that we've had again over the weekend, the city said park crews treated the lake again, and they spoke with the DNR about the treatment. So we're talking about a lot of people trying to get a break from the oppressive heat. You can see the sunshine and how hot it has been, but the rain and all of that is not a great mix. And so if you see something like that at a park or a lake nearby you, don't dismiss it. Say something, because sometimes you might be the first to see it. It might be before anybody with the DNR or anybody from a higher level official will see it. So be careful. Do not let your dogs in, because that could be deadly to them. All right. We've been talking about prices going up all over the place. You're a coffee drinker, a little bit. Once in a while. More of a tea drinker, right?
Yes.
But coffee is expected to get more expensive. What do y'all think about that? You're probably not happy about that, I'm sure. Maybe
quit drinking coffee.
I was just going to say, maybe you'll all come to my side and start drinking tea, but then tea prices will go up, right?
Yeah.
But yes, so coffee price is expected to go up, get it more expensive. Climate change, they're saying, is partly to blame for this. Yeah, so the last month, the International Coffee Organization reported prices hit a 13-year high, averaging $2.27 per pound. Right? And just going up. Roasters and coffee experts signal that it could stay that way for a while thanks to climate change. Coffee, they say, is more sensitive to changes in temperature than any other crops, and coffee retailers are already feeling the pressure. So I'm sorry to say that cup of Java is going up. And that's not the only thing. Have you been to the grocery store lately?
Not for the past couple of weeks.
Oh, really?
I don't have to go a whole lot.
Well, yeah, she's so tiny, she doesn't eat much. But hotter summers could worsen the growing conditions and raising those produce prices. Extreme heat taking its toll on farmers across the country, even as inflation tapers off. Really, from this time last year, this entire erratic weather pattern we've been seeing may push the price of fruits and vegetables even higher. Many producers in the area have suffered from changing weather patterns, and that unfortunately results in increased prices. And I know people get frustrated with this, but what can they do? I mean, we need an end. All of you, if you have any ideas of what you want to throw in to say what we can do with this, please let me know. By the way, you're seeing on the bottom of the screen topics and guests that you would like for us to have on the show. Let us know. Email me at info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. If it's discussion topics that you want, we bring those in. If it's guests that you want to have on the show, let me know. All right, yesterday, I talked about Norah O'Donnell stepping down from CBS Evening News to play more of a storytelling role. Well, guess what? And I know I'm doing this in honor of Michelle, because I know Michelle has talked about this in the past, that sometimes it takes the work of two men to do the work of one woman. Well, CBS News has named the replacement for Norah O'Donnell. Do you know these two gentlemen? John Dickerson, you know the guy on the left, okay, and Maurice Dubois. Is it Dubois? I don't actually know him. They're going to co-anchor the CBS Evening News following the departure of Norah O'Donnell. Dickerson is a former host of Face the Nation and CBS This Morning for the network, the former Time Magazine White House correspondent. That's probably why you are familiar with him. He's been anchoring a nightly newscast for CBS's streaming service most recently. And Dubois is what I'm thinking it might be. A veteran anchor for CBS's local affiliate in New York City, has also contributed reporting to various CBS newscasts. So this won't happen, by the way, until we go into the election. That's when they said she would be stepping down. I mentioned at the beginning, again, tax-free weekend. That's for all Missouri residents. Well, actually, I should say this. It's all for those that shop in Missouri. You don't have to be a Missouri resident, but it's in Missouri. Illinois, unfortunately, and one of my dear friends and employees that we have, Zach Kimball, who's actually kind of shadowing today in producing and directing, he lives on the Illinois side, as does Ashlyn, who's moderating at home. And they don't get a break, which is not fair. Illinois does not get a tax-free break. He just gave a thumbs down. Exactly. Illinois, you can come on over, though. We welcome you. Come on over to the Missouri side and shop. It's just the fact that that revenue does not go into the Illinois side. They don't get the tax break. But I know a lot of people cross the river to get the school supplies for their kids. There is a rundown list if you Google what does fall into the tax-free weekend, what does not. By the way, ladies that want to go get a new purse, purses do not.
No.
You need school supplies. So all of that for you. Again, now you're up to date in weather and in the news you can use. We're going to talk about surviving or thriving. We're going to talk about the Olympic rundown. What did you enjoy from yesterday's Olympics? And we've got some exciting things to tell you about next Thursday's broadcast. Yesterday, we went to Adventure Unknown. If you haven't been there yet, I'm going to walk you through and show you the place instead of just pictures I've been showing you. Yeah. It's beautiful. My mom went with us yesterday. It's incredible, right? I look forward to seeing what you think about it, what you loved the most. We'll do that when we come back from the break. And I was able to secure yesterday a major giveaway. Huge. But you have to be there next Thursday for it. 4:30 to 6 p.m. is the live broadcast. And then we're going to stick around for a social hour, have a lot of fun with you. Adventure Unknown again in Fenton, Missouri. More coming back with The Real Monica Adams Show.
I'm excited to announce my all-new mattress topper. In the times we're in, I wanted to bring you the best affordable mattress topper ever. So I took my two best technologies and combined them to make the ultimate mattress topper. And now you can get it for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. It all starts with my famous MyPillow foam that provides you that overall full body support. Second is the individual comfort supports that give you an amazing custom sleep sleep experience. It's like it's made specifically for you. The queen size alone has over 14,000 comfort supports. This is the perfect mattress topper to improve any bed. New bed, old bed, your guest beds. Get them for every bedroom in your house. Go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get the all-new My Mattress Topper for as low as $69.98. Queen size only $99.98. Don't delay, order today.
All right, welcome back. If you're just tuning in, it's the Real Monica Adams Show. My mom is joining me today. I just asked her if she'd go let the dogs in. So they're coming in. Not as hot, obviously, as it has been. So they can go outside. You can do your exercise. It's nice to walk out and not have that oppressive heat smack you in the face. So yeah, if you want to go out and walk the dog, go ahead and do so now. Still keep an eye on the temperatures raising up just a little bit. Let's say hi to some of you that I didn't get a chance to say hi to this morning. Kathy had said hello to Beckett. I'd love to hear what you think about him. Did Beckett ever say who his meteorologist idol is? Locally, yes. He is a fan of Steve Templeton. He's a fan of Scott Connell as well. And let me see. So you've got 4, 5, and then 2. He likes Chris Higgins. From a national standpoint, I think there's a handful out there for him. But yeah, Beckett, if you're still on, or if your mom is on, let us know some of the other ones. He's had a chance to meet a lot of national meteorologists. He got a chance to meet the dancing weatherman, who I absolutely love, that works at Fox. But yeah, Beckett, if you're still on, let him know who else you like. Stephanie said thank you to Beckett. And Michelle says Beckett still needs a sponsor on the show to help with his equipment costs and to further his education, which is what I'm really more big into. Yes, anybody that wants to be a sponsor of a particular segment, or if there's a new segment that you want to come up, you could join our growing list of sponsors. And a very special thanks goes out to all of those that are currently with us. Obviously, all that have been with us from the beginning, but let me switch that crawl to say that. Special thanks to Regional Dermatology, our Dr. Sarah Jensen, who's just been such a welcome to the show. She will be back with us Tuesday, by the way. She's actually, like a lot of parents, having their kids go back to school. So she's traveling to take her girls back to college. So she'll be with us Tuesday instead of Monday. Dr. Sarah Jensen with Regional Dermatology. Yuppie Puppy Pet Spa will be back doing our Positive Talk Time next Thursday with Jessica Cook. Defiance Ridge Vineyards, we were just there with Chuck Gillentine. Just Pools in Arnold, we went there yesterday to pick up the Adirondack chairs we're going to put together today. I'll show you a video of that on our socials. And then, of course, My Pillow joined us. And thank you to Mike Lindell. We continue to grow that. Your business or someone that you know could be a part of that with us. So we would love that. Yes, Michelle, thank you so much. Jillian, I drink tea and coffee. Well, you might go to more tea. Good morning, Julie. Julie says everything's expensive. Tony, good morning to you. Stephanie, I shop and get gas in Missouri. Yeah, I understand that.
Oh, I do too.
I used to get my hair done in Illinois, and my husband would always say, make sure that you fill up before you go over to Illinois, because you don't want to get stuck having to pay for gas over there. Zach is in a small window. I'm keeping an eye on him. Zach, give me a thumbs up if you get gas in Missouri or Illinois. Thumbs up in Missouri? Sometimes. Oh, yeah. See, he does as well. Yes, exactly. Pamela, good morning to you. Luann, good morning. And let's see, anybody else? Diane, good morning to you as well. All right, we haven't missed anybody. Okay, let's talk before we get into thriving or surviving. Which one is more? I mentioned next Thursday. This is where we're going to be. Okay, this is the speakeasy. So tell me, Mom, when you went there yesterday, what was your favorite?
I love seeing favorite room. I guess the large room, maybe.
The big open room?
With all the animals.
Yes, and the animals that she's talking about comes from Well, this is actually the room that's going to start being called the bubble room. Bubbles, like, champagne
yes.
and a little Prosecco. This is where a lot of the women would gather. And then the speakeasy is originally where they thought the guys would
Yes.
gather, but it became a commingling space.
Yes.
Because you never want to just say, oh, the guys are going in to smoke their cigars. There's women that like to do that, or just be around the smell of it. Weren't you impressed, though? Because it wasn't an overwhelming
No,
smell.
you couldn't smell like a cigar hanging.
Right.
No, very crisp,
Clean, right?
neat, clean.
Yeah. So a speakeasy, there's all the animals. So they are hunters, and I don't mean just like hunting deer and whatever. They go to Africa. There are incredible things that they have had a chance to do with Adventure Unknown. And we're just taking you through where you can come and be a part of a community socially. There were a ton of people showing up yesterday for work there.
Yes.
That's where their workspace is. So if you don't want to work at a coffee shop, you don't want to work at your home, this is an opportunity for you to be a part of a community that's truly thriving, and then play together. They've got pickleball courts. They've got ping pong. They've got video games. You remember all the old video games from the past.
Pool table.
Yeah, I mean, everything. And they've got a new golf simulator that is still coming.
Yes.
They've got a beautiful outside space that he wants to do more and more with. And it just keeps growing and growing and growing. So this is called Adventure Unknown. And here's the deal. You ready for this? Drum roll, please. We're going to give away a weekend 2-night stay at the Lake of the Ozarks. How cool is that? To get away, absolutely free to you. You'll just be answering some questions at the live broadcast. So if you want to get away with your loved one or maybe with the family, you've got to come to Adventure Unknown. It is located really, if you would go down Haran and then you go to Larkin Williams, like Fenway, Larkin Williams area, it's in the back kind of industrial area. And that's why when you walk into it, you're like, what is this place I'm walking into? And you just think it's a big warehouse. No, as you just saw, it's just incredible. So we're going to be there. Our team will be there from 4:30 to 6. That's the live broadcast. And then we're all going to stick around and have fun. I'd love to meet all of you, take some pictures together, and then get you a weekend getaway. We also have a really cool package we're putting together of Opalo Wine, which is a beverage company that former St. Louis Blue Reed Lowe owns.
Oh, really?
He's putting a really cool package together for you. We've got, we think, the guy who owns 3 Men and a Garden, Salsas. They're going to put a really cool basket together. So a lot of things and some food and drinks. You got to be there. It's going to be a good time. Again, 4:30 to 6 p.m. at Adventure Unknown. So please be there. And so if you haven't already, click on the link that Ashlyn just posted for you. Michelle says, my mom will be there from New Hampshire. She's in town, so she'll be there. Absolutely. Yes. Ashlyn, thank you so much. So she just gave you the link so that you can know on all of our platforms where it is and how cool the place is. Dr. Johnson William, hello. Where are you watching from? Rose, does Just Pools have discounts at the end of the year? They sure do. Let's go ahead and talk about my dear friends, because we went there yesterday. We love them as much as I know. By the way, on the West Outer Road, Just Pools, pool and spa specialist. So I went there yesterday and was talking to Madonna. She said some people, and I don't know why this is. Well, actually, she explained why this one lady did. But people are starting to line up their appointments to close the pools. I don't even want to think about that, especially with how hot it is. But if you do want to put that on the calendar, if you need someone to close your pool, and I would highly recommend that you do not try to do that on your own, because you could blow out the lines. Like force the lines to break. That is a dangerous thing, but you do have to blow the lines out and put the antifreeze in. You don't do it on your own. Let the professionals do it. If you don't have a pool, they can build a pool for you. You can get on the schedule for that to be in your backyard by this time next year and have your beautiful outdoor oasis, your backyard oasis. And then, yes, all the things you're seeing on the inside rows. So they've got all these incredible toys you can stock up on for next year's season or the end of this season. Chemicals, she did tell me, are still 10% off. The toys are 30% off. And then they are getting in those more hot tubs, because we're going to transition into more of the hot tub season, right? Right now, though, if you have one, you can kind of bounce back and forth between your pool and your spa. So they are incredible pool and spa specialists. That's my favorite. That one was actually sold, though. That one's no longer there. Sorry. Just pools, pool and spa specialists. Yes, they will have discounts at the end of the year for sure. So please do us a favor, Rose. Go in. When you go in, ask for Madonna. I can't wait for you to meet her. She's just incredible. And if you saw her interview with us, tell her thank you for being so raw and open, by the way. All right, everybody. Olympics. What was your favorite about yesterday?
The gold medals.
Sorry for spoiling it, but it's time to spoil because I
Hope
I have
everybody saw them.
Well, but if they didn't, this is the time to find out about it. It's the people that are sending us text messages and calling us and saying it before I see it that evening, which is when most people, I think, are watching it because most people are working
at work
throughout the day and you don't get a chance to see it in real time. And so you should say, spoiler alert, do you want to know? No, I don't. I want to watch it in the evening. But my mom just told you, yes, Simone Biles, the greatest of all time, won overall gold medal. And then Suni Lee, she won bronze.
Yes.
But you got to give major props because, is it Rebecca? Rebecca, she was amazing. And I actually thought this is going to be super close between her and Simone. I didn't know which way it was going to go because...
Yeah, you never know sometimes. It's so close.
my gosh. But again, it was so nice, especially with everything that Simone's gone through.
Yes.
To take herself out of the last Olympics because of the dizzy aspect of what she was going through, kind of being disoriented and the mental health things that she had gone through.
Yes.
A lot of people wondered if she was ever going to come back. Well, she did. And she, by the way, is not just, existing, she is thriving. She's just absolutely amazing. Team USA had a huge gold medal day, not just Simone. So Simone Biles and American teammate Suni Lee competing in the women's gymnastics all-around final, and it led to an exhilarating finish that ended with Biles securing the gold medal and Lee earning the bronze. The Olympic swimming schedule featured 4 finals, including the incredible, look at Mom, go ahead and tell me how much you absolutely love her.
Oh my God, she is so good. I watched her for the last Olympics and she was so good. And then when she came back, I go, I know there's going to be great things with this young lady. Oh my gosh.
Katie Ledecky
is like a bullet.
Right? I mean, she's just absolutely incredible. She becomes the most decorated American female Olympian of all time in any sport. Have you all been watching her? I just don't understand how she can just go and go and go.
Yes.
When she did the 1500 meter that you and I watched the other night, I was like, she's swimming a mile and not taking a break. And I know the rest of them in the water are as well, but she was 20 seconds ahead of the next competitor. Her endurance level is through the roof. So again, Katie Ledecky back in the pool for Team USA in the women's 4x200 meter free relay. Australia swam to gold. The U.S. women took silver. Ledecky made Olympic history in the process, but Team USA did not leave the Olympic pool Thursday without hearing the national anthem. Kate Douglas won the women's 200 meter breaststroke for her first Olympic gold medal. So a lot of you have been asking, where are we in the medal count? That's the question. Let's bring it up for you. Here you go. China actually moved up. If you remember yesterday, we were in 7th as far as overall gold, but we had the most medals, but from a gold standpoint, but we have now moved up. Everybody was asking for more gold medals. China has 11 gold. United States has 9. France has 8, tied with Australia's 8, as well as Japan's 8. So there's a 3-way tie there.
Yes.
But we've got 37 medals. We have the most medals. We don't have the most gold, but we are moving up in that medal count. So what do you think about that? Yeah.
Yes.
Carlston, how are you, my friend? Oh my goodness, I haven't seen you in forever. I hope you and your health are doing well. Let me bop over really quick to Instagram to see if we're missing anybody over here. A lot of new people signing on. Let us know where you're watching from. I always love to see my former coworkers. The mighty Joe Young. Do you remember Joe? Photographer, videographer.
Yes.
I don't know if he's still on, but he was watching from Channel 5. Love having you on. Let's see. Debbie says, you and your mom are awesome. I miss my mom. You're so lucky. You both are so close. It melts my heart. Ron Fleshman was on. Oh, Sarah Maki, who I used to work with at Channel 5. Like
Yeah.
to see all these names. Again, I think they bounce on and off. Mandy, is there a way to just make a donation for Beckett's equipment? Of course there are. Yes, let's do that. Why don't you reach
Oh.
out to me? Mandy, I don't know if you're still on, but of course you can do that. Anybody, if you are on any of our platforms, which, by the way, let me make sure you know, for family and friends that do not want to be on Facebook, we are on Facebook. We are on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe so you get the notification when we're on live. X, Rumble, and Instagram. And we bounce all over the place to make sure that I'm, at least in real time, contacting all of you. Julie says, Joe Young, Frank always would talk about him. He's an incredible, probably one of the best photographers that existed. And I got a chance to learn from him. And then over at Channel 2, one of the best is Brian Ledford. And his daughter is getting ready to join our team, which I think is so cool. I mean, what a full circle moment. She's going to be one of our interns moving into the fall. Sean, good morning to you as well. All right, I'm going to take another quick break. We're right at the 7:30 mark. When we come back, the topic of the day, we're going to talk about surviving or thriving. Which word do you like better, Mom?
Thriving.
Yes, I think that's what a lot of people think. All of that coming up with Mama Jacque when we return. Everyone knows about Jody's balls, and why is that?
I have the best ball.
Oh my God. Oh, wait. A whole lot of fun, don't we? We're going to have some fun today. We're going to talk about surviving and thriving, though, also doing a little social media check. And I said, time to text. 30 minutes or more left in the show. So tell people that we are on. Looks like we've got 1 on YouTube, 21 on Facebook, 39 on X, 3 on Rumble. And for some reason, this system doesn't allow me to see how many are live on Instagram. I do know that people bounce back and forth and bounce back and forth. Looks like maybe 4 that are on Instagram, 5 now, it looks like, but they bounce on and off. And then that's what you can do. If you're getting busy, come back on if we're still on. Jillian, good morning to you as well. All right, Mom. So I've got a client that I just trained right before we came on the air.
Oh, yes.
And Reed Lowe just commented. All right, so let's just do this in real time. I like to be real. Reed Lowe, former St. Louis Blues, going to join me, he said, for sure, on Thursday at Adventure Unknown's live broadcast. But I asked him if he can bring some of the former St. Louis Blue that I covered back in my early years of sports reporting. He said he's going to invite a few of the guys. They will love it. If they are able to make it, they absolutely will. Okay, cool. So thank you, Reed, for doing that. Reed's not probably watching right now, but he's going to be there. Such a good man. I love the interview we did where he talked about his walk of faith. If you are new to the show, we interact with you live. So that's why I keep bouncing around all the different platforms to make sure that if you have a question or if you have a comment, do you have a guest that we've had on the show that you've absolutely loved, let us know. And remember about the regular segments we have. And I've got it here. Medical Mondays, Ask the Doctor. So we have Dr. Jensen. And then she brings patients in. Sometimes she brings doctors in. She had Dr. Becky Lynn on with her. Did you see that? Menopause, perimenopause, postmenopause. Great show, by the way. And it dropped yesterday on our audio podcast platform also, which is at 8 a.m. every Thursday. Carlston, I'm doing okay. Tell Mom and Jim hello for me. Celebrating 59 years today. Happy birthday, my friend. He's Carlston, you have met. He's been with Carl Lund in a lot of the events that I do as an MC. He's a phenomenal photographer. So Carlson, love you, my dear friend. Stephanie, hi, Reed Lowe. Thank you. Great guy. I loved Mark Schulman. His book is amazing. So Mark and Heather Kreider. Yes, I love to hear what some of your favorite topics have been over the last year and a half. And can we just say this? You're welcome, Carlson. Where would you think would be a great place for us to have our 400th show? What do you think? Anybody? All that same question to all of you. Let's make it epic because we're just getting bigger and bigger. I can't wait for our 500th, which will be in the spring sometime. But yes, so everyone was asking, do we have a specific date? We don't yet. I want to figure out what area, and it doesn't matter. It can be Missouri side. It can be the Illinois side. We could travel somewhere to have it if you all would want to travel with us. We could do a traveling mobile, Monica. It doesn't matter. It's just... Somebody asked yesterday, can we pay to attend to help that? And I'm like, you can, sure, if you want to help the mission, because that's what this is bringing positivity to the world. Jillian says 400th show at Forest Park, but who would pay for that, Jillian? That's the thing. We need someone to sponsor and pay for the 400th show because there's a lot that goes into that broadcast. And there are a lot of eyes on those shows, the 100, 200, 300. This will be the 400th. It is a massive amount. I'm talking into almost 10,000 people getting a chance to see your company, your mission, what you want for the world, having a great time, maybe showcasing other businesses that allowed you to get there, and tons of giveaways. So what do you think? 400th show. That's what I want to know. All right. So email me on that. So Mom, you have been, and this is for any of you. I know that I was mentioning a client of mine that I just got done training.
Yeah.
She was talking about wanting to definitely hear this. She is a caregiver for her husband. Now, he is older than her and he is dealing with Parkinson's.
Oh.
So when you have to become a caregiver, first of all, how difficult is that?
It is very hard, but you don't think about it that way. It's just you're doing something for someone that you love and you want to make it better for them. And you just do it one day at a time. That's the only way you can think. You can't think in, this week, next week, whatever. No, one day at a time. Get up in the morning, ask God to guide you, and just do it.
Just do it, like Nike says, just do it.
Yeah.
Because you are deeply in love with that person. You made the vow for better or for worse in sickness and in health. However, I do truly believe when someone gets engaged and they get married, they're there for the fluff of the wedding day.
Yes.
They're not thinking about the long term, and you need to be. Don't get married if you're not really meaning what you're saying that day. Because I see too many people, and I know this made you mad, but this is story after story that we hear of this. Both sides. A guy gets really, really sick. The girl's like, I'm in it for myself. I'm moving on. Or the girl gets sick. I know, unfortunately, some stories that we've done in the past of women that were stricken with stage 4 breast cancer or uterine cancer, ovarian cancer. And suddenly the spouse is cheating and saying, well, I'm not getting what I came into the marriage for anymore. And I'm like, what? What do y'all think about that? That just really boils my blood.
Oh, me too. Yes.
And that has happened a lot, unfortunately, of people saying, well, this isn't the person I married. Yes, it is.
Yes.
They didn't ask to get sick.
Right.
And they...
What if it turned around and it was you? Would you want her to...
her or him. Because it goes both ways.
Either one. Don't make any difference. No.
No. You hope that the person that you fall in love with, that you are with, is there to take care of you and hopefully turn things around for you. I mean, it's a wake-up call. My mom was 57 when my dad died, but he got sick when you were 56 or 55?
56, yeah, because he was for a year, yeah.
So let's talk about that. I mean, that's only a handful of years older than I am right now. And I just look at that. And again, you all know I'm very, very close to this woman, but you are the ultimate role model to me because not only have you showed me the true love that it takes to be there by that person's side, by my father's side. But then it was you losing him at the age of 57, which is now younger than my husband is now.
Yes.
Jim will be 61, by the way, this Sunday. Happy early birthday to you.
Yeah, happy birthday, Jim. Yep. Early.
He'll be 61. So I've been able to see him older than my father ever got to be on this earth. He died at 59. So my question to you and to all of you, when that happens, how do you, first of all, take the steps to move forward? Because there's a dear friend of ours, and I'm going to send this show to her because she said she'd love to sit down with you. And she's like, I would just love to pick her brain and just hear her spirit. And how did she do it? Because she lost the love of her life at a young age as well. And she's looking at you all these years later. My mom never did marry again. You not even dated. I mean, maybe a little bit, not really. A couple dates here and there. But to all of you, are you going through that right now? Can you be just really real and raw? We're going to keep bouncing back and forth to what my mom says. Oh, Julie says, I was 23 years old and my dad's caregiver for 4 years. I did everything, bathing, etc. for her father. I was my mom's caregiver at 35, starting 1998 for 2 years. She had cancer. I would work 8-hour days, would go and get her after work, take her to her chemo treatments. And when chemo was over, radiation treatments. I had to then go home, and I had 2 children and a husband. It was so hard for me with my mom.
Oh,
We were like you and your mom's relationship. I actually was blessed, and I do say blessed, to speak at a caregivers conference in Springfield, Illinois, just this last year, and got a chance to walk around and talk to so many people that are going through that right now. Some in their 20s and 30s, right? You think about just starting your life, hey,
Yes.
out of college, getting ready to get your first job, and then suddenly thrown into the throes of taking care of their parents. And a lot of them were crying. I was able to talk with the Lego lady. Do you all remember her? She was on with us. She's so funny. She was a caregiver for her mom. Her mom did pass, but some people, they have to take care of their parent or spouse or children for a few years, 5 years, 10. This particular woman, 30 years. 30 years as a caregiver. Kathy said, yes, being there for my husband is an act of love and service. Grateful to spend time together. That's Kathy Holdenreed.
Yes.
And you know what her husband's going
Yes.
through.
Mhm.
Stephanie, my brother is going through this with my sister-in-law. She's been diagnosed with dementia and Alzheimer's. Both are 70 and he's struggling. My husband went through that when his dad was diagnosed with either dementia or Alzheimer's, but his mom obviously very sick at the end when we first met. When we got back together, because we dated forever ago, but when we got back together, his mom was very ill and died within a month.
Yeah.
Which I hated. I felt robbed of it, but she had cancer. His father was still there to take care of her. So he was the caregiver.
Yeah.
But what happened a lot of times is when you lose your spouse, and I'm glad this didn't happen to her, you are so heartbroken that a lot of times you see the next person go shortly thereafter of a broken heart syndrome.
Yeah. I've had that in my family where, an aunt passed away. And I think within 2 months, my uncle passed away. That's what they said. Broken heart syndrome. And
Yeah. So I think that's the advice that we're looking for from you today. Kathy says, my mom had COPD. She was in hospice at the end. My sister and I took turns taking care of her. Well, you know what? That's a good point. And I decided to do this again because we did this last year, but I felt that it was such a powerful topic to talk about because you never know when that's coming for you. But this particular person last year said, Monica, can you discuss the need for siblings to all rise up, not for one, to do all the caregiving? And then what happens? Animosity, anger, resentment, right? Frustration, depression, all those things are like, okay, I guess I have to be the one that steps up to do it. I believe that, I know that if anything, God forbid, would happen to her, that my oldest brother, my middle brother, myself, my sister-in-law, we would all be there, probably fighting over who could take care of her. I mean, that's the love that you have.
Yeah.
They did it for you when you were young. They were always there for you.
Yeah.
They're always there for you growing up. They'll always be your oldest, your middle, your baby. I'll forever be your baby, no matter how old, right?
Yeah.
And, she had to take care of me when I was only 19 years old,
Yeah.
when I had my massive blood clot, right?
And Craig.
And my brother had cancer.
Cancer?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's see. So Julie says, I also had hospice for both of my parents. My dad passed away 1 month to the day of diagnosis.
Oh.
Wow. My mom went 3 days from being in hospice. Mary says, I was a caregiver for my father who passed at 68 for Alzheimer's. 3 years later, my mom had a brain aneurysm and a stroke took care of her for 8 years. Yeah. I was an only child. See, then that becomes hard.
That's what's hard, yes.
She said she was an only child and a single parent and worked full time. It was hard, but I would do it all again. Isn't that a powerful thing to say?
Yeah, that's
right?
What my mom was bad sick, but I had a large family, but they all didn't live here. There were 7 of us, but one lived in California, one lived in Southeast Missouri, and one lived in Las Vegas. So then there was really, I think 3 or just 4 of us that lived here in town, and the 3 sisters. We were the ones that kind of did a lot. And then my younger sister, Fran, she lived closer to my mom. So she kind of took on the role of her finances and that. So she was there all the time and doing things. But I would leave work, we would go, I would do things and then go home and so we all worked together to help,
That's
but that's
needed.
what I said, thank God. But then I feel so sorry for someone, like you said, just an only child.
Right.
that would be so hard.
It would be, but again, when you
would
have
do
that
it, yeah.
deep, yes, like exactly that you have that deep love, you would do it. Julie says, I had two brothers. They never came around. See, I never regret anything with my parents. My brother passed away 1 month after my mom, so I lost two in 1 month. Yeah,
Wow.
these stories, we hear so much of this. Bill Stadler, good morning to you. I'm going to go back to Instagram for a second. Mandy came up with an idea, which I think, by the way, would be a great one. Ashlyn, if you can tag them in this. I sent a text yesterday to Charlie Boyce, who is with Innsbruck. Mandy just said, what do you think about Innsbruck being a place for the 400th? I would love that. I think that would be beautiful. How many of you have never been to Innsbruck Resort? I've been blessed to MC the Swim Across America event there.
Yes.
And then I just did a retreat there with the wonderful Sally Drake that we've had on our show, who owns MSE Racing Endurance. And she and I and a couple of other people spearheaded to put on this wonderful retreat for women. And it was held at Innsbruck. So we're talking to them. I would love to hold it there or do a live broadcast there, if it's not for the 400th show. But yes, that's a great idea, Mandy. I'm talking to them already. Boom, boom, boom. We've got some more people coming in. Michelle, no idea how I'll manage as an only child and her being halfway across the country. I've always wondered that for Michelle.
Yes.
Her mom lives in New Hampshire and she's an only child. And I've always been like, I hope Michelle doesn't call me and tell me that her mom's ill.
Oh, God,
and then what would she do? Share her time here. She's got a husband and a son here. What do you do? Everybody, what do you do? Michelle just said she's a stubborn broad. Hey, don't call your mom a broad. And won't move here. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Julie Purcell, he couldn't handle with the grief of my mom. They found him hyperthermia in a chair with 52 bottles of whiskey around him.
Oh.
That is what I was told. Woo. That breaks my heart. Marilyn said, it is beautiful to witness when a family can come together to take care of a parent. My BFF is the youngest of 10, and after some turmoil, they all came together to take care of their amazing mom at the age of 97, especially keeping her in the home. See, so many of you, this community that we have built over the last year and a half, that's why I want you to just open up your heart, if you will. We talk about some really powerful things, and sometimes people get embarrassed by certain topics. Some people get fearful of certain topics. They get angry, and then they just need someone to start the conversation, because suddenly you realize this is your community. This whole world is part of your community. Yes, there's some bad people in the world, but I believe that the majority of people have good in them. Sometimes they're just lost and need to get on the right track. They need to be on the right path, and they need some guidance. And I'm hoping that the show gives you that guidance. Mary says, Innsbruck is beautiful. Going there on the 17th. They have a great speakeasy. They do? Mary, I didn't know about that. See?
I got a speakeasy.
I didn't. All right, Charlie, come on. You got to be a part of this. Okay, so we're talking about, and you liked the word thriving.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you, by the way? What does survival or surviving mean to you? And what does thriving mean? There's not a word thrival, but surviving, thriving. You said you like thriving. Why?
Yeah. It just seems more positive or upbeat than surviving. It's like, but surviving still is good, that you've gone through something and you've managed to get through it. But thriving is like, okay, I'm going.
It's the
Keep
next
going.
level, right?
Yeah,
One of the
going.
things I put in the topic
So
was...
they go together.
Well,
survive, then thrive.
That's what I think. See, and I think a lot of people, it's just like the word change. For some people, a lot of people, they have an aversion to the word change. So I started, in my life coaching, I started speaking more shifting patterns instead of changing. I always use this example when I was covering sports. Mike Keenan came in, and there was, do you remember him? St. Louis Blues coach. So much turmoil over people saying, oh my gosh, he's such a jerk. And they were just not ready for change. He was a great coach. For the most part, he and Brett Hall did not get along. I remember a story, whether it's true or not, that was in the media saying that Brett Hall fired a puck in practice that was going towards Mike Keenan's head because he was so ticked off at him. But I don't know. But there was a lot of turmoil. He wasn't around for a long, long time. People that were big Blues fans did not want him around. And it was, we got to embrace change. He would always say, embrace change. And I was like, the word change alone is something people don't want to embrace. Yeah. So we start using the word shift. And you just said, survive, thrive. Survival has a word of surviving. I'm trying to survive. I'm just going through and trying to do what I can. Thriving, right? Exciting. Change. Oh, shift. Seems so light and airy. It's
Yeah.
all in the way you look at life. Okay. Jillian said, I definitely need all the guidance I can get. Well, that's what we're here for, Jillian. Terry, dream is just walking the walk and making it through. Thriving is excelling in your behaviors and doing your utmost best. She said, oops, surviving is walking the walk. Yeah. So thriving. The other thing that we put into the topic today was, how do you ever become the greatest of all time? Continue to throw in anything else that you want with regards to survival, thriving. What do you do? We're going to take a quick break. One final break here. I want to say, Michelle thought it would be good for you to tell people, in these almost 29 years, what have you done to keep yourself busy? What do you do as a single lady who's a little older? Right. So she was saying that her mom loves to travel and she would talk about travel all day. For you, it is a lot of things that you talk about getting involved in. So we're going to hold on to just 1 second. We're going to do that. And I also want to say, what does it take, like Simone Biles, like Michael Phelps, like Michael Jordan, anybody that you think was the greatest of all time, Elvis Presley, Tina Turner, how do you ever become that? How do you become the GOAT? We'll do that in our final 10 minutes. He wants to say, I can't believe I took your son's life. I don't know what I was thinking. I have so much regret and remorse. I've changed my life. Would you accept that apology?
I've never thought of that. Yeah, I would.
Do you think, because you talk about forgiveness, do you think that you all can ever forgive one another and come back together?
It wasn't just right. I'm not perfect. Just because my name is Bush, I don't have it all figured out. And I think they know that too.
I was cyclically depressed, so I could be the happiest person you ever met at 11 a.m. I could be on cloud 9, and by 7 p.m. that evening, I'd be sitting on a couch with a gun in my hands. I mean, hard not to get emotional. I
never feel sorry for being emotional.
I really, I was at a space to where I couldn't believe that I had brought my children into this.
Where's the light? Because many of you probably feel that there's this darkness and there's this thunder cloud that's constantly over you. This family has dealt with so much.
Our journey is our journey. There has to be purpose in this pain. There has to be something more powerful. I have to find something to be blessed about every day. I have to count my blessings and have gratitude every single day.
So beautiful. Amy Post, by the way, she's going to have me on her podcast coming up. I think it's next week or in a couple weeks. I'll let you know where you can listen to that. Amy's been through so much. You read her book, Out of the Gray, Into the Light.
Yes.
What she went through, caregiving for her daughter, right? Kira Anderson has been on the show. I've run into her a couple times at church, caregiving for her husband who had stage 4 pancreatic cancer. These stories of hope we've been blessed for people to open up their hearts. And the reason why we do both, the combination of gut-wrenching, heartbreaking stories, and then have fun together and go out and enjoy, is because that's life, right? It's not all about rainbows and puppy dogs. We got to talk about the hard things as well. So you'll see that. My mom and I goofed around yesterday when she was doing this about the deer. Now we're talking about really difficult topics, but it's also, how do you thrive? And that's the thing that we're discussing today. So what would you say, Mom, is the important thing for men and women as you get up there in age to when you're not with a spouse anymore? How do you thrive? What is it you do? What have you been doing?
You find out and get involved in different groups, church, things or whatever, and join them and get around a lot of other people and do things, go on trips. I mean, I belong to, 4 different.
Yeah. Tell them what you're involved in.
Okay. Garden Club, Pontooners, Historical Society, Widows by the Waterfall.
Yeah, that's the newest. It's in what, Lake St. Louis?
Lake St. Louis.
Widows by the Waterfall?
Widows by the Waterfall. And then there's another one coming up through church. Also there, a Bible study. Mm-hmm. So you find out another, I'll join that one also. So you meet more different people, and then you can do things. And then
don't do it alone. Is that what you would?
Oh, no, don't do it alone. No,
yeah.
Right. My heart breaks if somebody doesn't have any, and I can't believe that you don't have friends get on the phone, call them,
But
Just
some people
text
do.
them.
They have written in the comments, Mom. They have said, "I'm all by myself. I don't have anybody," and that breaks my heart. But I realize, well, you're just in the wrong circles.
Right.
You've got to join a
You
club.
got to go out, go to the church, like even I
You're
think,
big on church.
and I think even through the library, you can find out different organizations that are in your neighborhood.
Mhm.
Give them a call and, ask to, well, like mine started when I moved where I live. There was the garden club, and we used to have a little newspaper, and I read about, going to be a garden club meeting. So I went up to there and come in and I go, can I join? And they go, okay, you have to come to 2 meetings. Then you kind of get like accepted, or do you want to join us?
Well, will you show up?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So you come and you're there and meet very wonderful people. I've been, 29 years almost like a garden club. And then there's like so many things that you can do with them, like trips you go on, gardening that you do, taking care of different gardens that are around Lake St. Louis.
Yeah, that's the club you've been in the longest.
Yes.
But but here's the deal. That's something she enjoys. She always
Right.
used to blow my mind. I would drive by something. I'm like, what's that flower? What's that bush? I'm like, how do you know all this? Now they've got.
Oh, now I'm getting better. Brian, my oldest son, he's got me a little thing on the phone.
I was just going to say,
And
you can point to
or
that,
the
right?
girls did that. Yeah, you can take a picture of it and it tells you what. Now he's even got me a new one, birds. You hear the birds, you see them, you wonder what bird that is. You can put it and you hear the bird chirping.
It's the same thing like when you're hearing
Yes.
you heard a song on the radio and you're like, what is this song? And then it's like, what is it, Shazam or something? That you
Shazam.
put it up and
There it is, yeah.
boy, I tell you what, there's a lot of
So
incredible
much,
technology that's out there. So yes,
But, yeah.
I think your overall message is don't try to go at it alone.
Don't try to go
There's a
that way.
community that's waiting there for you. You just have to find what's right and find what you love. She loves gardening. She loves to be social. She loves to dance. She would probably find a dancing club. You do bunco.
Yes.
You've
yes.
never done, what is it called? Mahjong? Or,
Mahjong. No, I didn't do Mahjong. I didn't do bridge.
yeah.
Um,
Do you think those are too hard?
No, it's just like I do, what is our club with? Bunko.
Yeah.
That's a fun one.
Right.
A lot of these other ones, they're wonderful and I get to be, but they're too serious.
She wants to have fun.
I do. Well, even like you have, or even like with golf, I had a neighbor and we were going to go golfing and she's kind of, and then it was like, you can't talk, you can't this. I go, I want to have fun.
You can't talk. You can't be in that club, Mom.
No, that's my daughter-in-law. She said, let's go golf, but we're not even going to keep score.
Yeah, just kick. Well, my sister-in-law will go with us and she'll get frustrated and she'll just kicks the ball and picks
Right.
it up and throws it and then runs to the next hole.
Yeah.
Julie Fabian says it takes 2 to have a friend. Yes.
Right.
When my dad passed, I tried to get my mom to date. She said, no way. I had one for 52 years, too old to break another one in.
Yeah.
That's funny. Terry, to thrive, you need to first get out of bed, take
Right.
a day at a time, do your best at whatever it is that you enjoy getting involved, stay active, and the things that you enjoy doing, volunteer. Yes, big.
Yes,
Educate
volunteering.
yourself. Read.
That's how you get started.
Yep. Reading, listening, be kind throughout your day. Jillian, I agree. A lot of times I feel like I'm the only one to reach out to people. I feel
Yeah.
that things aren't a two-way street. Like I'm the first one to call or text when others can initiate as well. That's actually been a topic of ours in the past. Why does one person have to always do it? Sometimes, but you know what? Here's the way I look at it.
That personality.
That's your purpose, though.
Yes,
Sometimes you
and
have
that's
to be the leader. Some people like to follow. You should actually feel blessed that they want you to
Right.
do that. You evidently make good decisions and you come up with
Yes.
good ideas. I feel blessed to have that.
Yeah.
Stephanie, way to go, Jackie. You have lots of energy. Good advice, she says. Oh, I asked earlier, what does it take to be the greatest of all time? What do you think? What kind of discipline in your life? I mean, can you imagine being the parent behind Simone Biles, Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Tina Turner? You can go on and on and on. Whoever you want to think of the GOAT in whatever field they're in. But right now, we're just thinking about the incredible because we've all witnessed the greatest and the history of what we are going to be talking about for years to come in the Paris Olympics. Seeing this woman come back after everything, going through physical changes, mental, spiritual changes, winning the gold last night
Yes.
for overall. Congratulations again to all the athletes that are in the
all
Olympics.
the athletes.
Just that feat alone.
Yes.
But to be the greatest of all time or the GOAT, what do you think it takes? And this is our final message.
Like, you mean what, her parents?
Well,
and
no,
stuff?
I'm talking about any.
Oh,
Anyone that's the greatest of all time.
it's just, I guess, having faith in God that He's going to guide you to get through it, and never question, never, if you have it, put your faith in yourself, in God's hands, and then say, okay, I trust you. You take it, God. Because once you start thinking, oh, I'm not, you're listening to the devil.
Okay, but it takes more than that. It takes, yes,
You
God,
got
do you
to.
want this for me? But as everybody's saying,
Find me.
Terry says dedication. Stephanie
Right.
says push yourself to be the best. Crystal Gale says mindfulness. By the way, Crystal, can't wait to see you at Adventure Unknown next Thursday. Mary says never give up.
Right.
Discipline, determination. Okay, I'm just going to say this. And before we read from Jesus Calling, there's a whole nother level, folks. Yes, it takes dedication, but there's dedication in a lot of things. To be
yes.
the greatest of all time, it means you eat, sleep,
and think.
think, live, walk the walk, talk the talk. Every aspect of it has to be, that's all you want in life.
Right.
And sometimes you are giving up, you think Simone got married, and does her husband feel like, okay, I'm kind of pushed to the side? No, you've got to find the balance. You just go, 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 go. But if you want to be the best in your field, the best in your sports, the best, some people say that's the greatest relationship I've ever seen in life, right? You think about the Hollywood actors and you see them ones that have been together for 50 years while other ones have affair after affair after affair. Mm-hmm. What does it take to be the greatest of all time? To me, it is giving 200% when others think they give 100 and all they've given is 50. Yeah. You can't be jealous of someone who is the greatest of all time when you're not willing to put it all in.
Right.
So Terry says focus. That was a word that my soccer coach gave me in high school. He said, Terry, you need to focus. Terry, let me go ahead and laugh at this. What does your trainer tell you? Trainer says, Terry, you got to focus. Yes, that's so funny. All right, everybody, good comments today. Let's do this before my battery dies on my computer. Jesus Calling. We're in August already. Today is Friday, August 2nd, and we're right at 8 o'clock. So we're wrapping things up. Yes, Terry just said focus, focus. August 2nd. Bring me the sacrifice of your time, a most precious commodity. In this action-addicted world, few of my children take time to sit quietly in my presence and hear and listen and focus. But for those who do, blessings flow like streams of living water. I, the one from whom all blessings flow, am also blessed by our time together. This is a deep mystery. Do not try to fathom it. Instead, glorify me by delighting in me. Enjoy me now and forever. And again, if you've wondered the books that we read from at home, it's thanks to our viewer, Marilyn. She gave us this Jesus Calling book, and there's a devotion for every day. Mm-hmm. And then we've got our 100 Days to Freedom from Stephen Arterburn, which are great. And we read those when we are on set. All right, as we wrap up, I'm excited to tell you that next Monday, we are flip-flopping. We're going to have Scott and Johanna, who are the owners of Adventure Unknown. They will be on to tell their story and the walk that they've come from, some hardships to overcome. Tuesday, Dr. Sarah Jensen will be on with one of her patients. But before that, have you all followed the dancing UPS man? Oh, he's so incredible. He has 1.5 million followers on Instagram. He has over 1 million on TikTok. People have tried to spam him. They have taken his accounts away. They have stalked him. He's gone through so much, but he continues to thrive. He continues to bring love to the world. We have been trying to get him on. He is now scheduled for 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning. The dancing UPS man, Russell Butler, please follow him, but follow his authentic accounts. If you see like 100, 1,000, 5,000, no, you need to see millions. And one of his blue check marks, unfortunately, was taken away. It's just crazy what he's been through. We're going to talk about all these things and what brought him to bring such love to the world. Marilyn says, there are those in a group that is the planner. There are those in a group that are planners and those that are not, but want to be included. There are those that are great communicators and those that do not know how to juggle it, just life. Love that you're reading from one of my favorite books. I love the new one for you. Yes, I've got that as well. I have the Jesus Calling book. I read it every day and today. I'm focusing on my dog. Yes, she's having to say goodbye to her dog today, her dog Lily. So thoughts and prayers going out to you and anybody that's going through any hardship. Well, what a great show. I love going into the weekend with this really powerful message. Talked about a lot of things. I can drop the new book at Yuppie Puppy for you. Is that okay? Marilyn, you're so sweet. Yes, absolutely. I'll be there next Thursday. So everybody, as we've always mentioned, I love having you as a part of the show. Whenever you're on, be sure to drop in comments, ask questions, comment. And then when you watch on replay, do a little hashtag replay so that I know that I am catching that and being able to answer your question afterwards. Thank you all so much for being a part of the show. I hope you have a wonderful one. And remember, God bless you all and be kind.